give you an example now. As an individual, you want to buy a property. For those of you that are in Lagos, let's say they call it Ikoyi now. And as an individual, the property is worth 10 billion naira. And as an individual, you cannot buy that property. Perhaps they've done a calculation. You buy this property for 10 million naira. After 5 years, this property becomes 18 million naira. If you list it out in that same period of time, you'll have gotten maybe 10% per rent at the end of the year. So let's say in a couple of 5 years, if you're getting 10%, that's 5 million back. The value of that investment grows from 10 million or 10 billion to what, to 23 billion. And because you are an individual, you cannot take that project. But as a cooperative, you can buy that whole project. And as an individual, you buy little what we call fractional ownership. You buy shares in that project. Perhaps your share is worth 5 million naira. Your share is worth 10 million naira. Your share is worth 15 million naira. You are able to share dividend at the end of the year and get the same interest you get if you have contributed your 10 billion. Does that make sense? Let me say that again. As an individual, you may be likely to see wonderful investment opportunities, but because of the costs, you may not be able to put that whole cost. But being part of a cooperative, you are able to put what we call a fractional amount of that money in that investment. The cooperative takes that investment, right, because they have what we call OPM, other people's money, right? You call it crowdfunding, you call it syndication. They're able to buy that project as a whole, give you a certain percentage based on what they've calculated is to be in, let's say, 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, and you're able to share the same amount you will have shared, even if you contributed the whole 10 billion in terms of what we call percentage, right? So cooperative allows you to have what we call group wealth creation. We call it, so they allow you to pool resources together and take up bigger projects that you as an individual may not have the ability to take up at the same time. Number two, you can also gain access to verified deals usually meant for institutions. So there are certain types of investment that people cannot do individually. We got back from Qatar a week ago, and we were touring a lot of big investment projects. And what they told us was that for those of you that do what we call as a realtor, they said as an individual, you cannot register as an agent in Doha. Do you understand? Until you come under a company. But as a company, you are able to get your license and register with those development company. And as a realtor, you can now register under, let's say, GTEX and Associates, and you're able to get commission. It's the same thing that applies to investments. There are some certain investments that are only applicable for bigger institutions. I got a call today, and someone was discussing about a project that they wanted to do in Port Harcourt. So it's a block of hostels meant for an institution, in Port Harcourt. And it was strictly, they were saying it strictly, we're only giving these deals to companies that can build it. Right? As an individual, we cannot give you this project. We can only give it to companies. The same thing also applies to cooperatives, also applies it to institutions. There are some deals that are specifically meant only for institutions because they have the ability to do what? Carry out that deal. There are some things we call joint venture as well. There are some joint venture that may not come to individuals, that institutions, companies, cooperatives are able to buy into that thing and get high return on investments. So being part of a cooperative, you are part of a project, you are able to get a fraction of those things and at the same time share profit at the end of the year, at the end of 2 years, and the end of 3 years. Are we all learning something? If you are learning something, just type I'm learning something, I'm learning something, I'm learning something. Let me go back to the chat box. Mr. Sunday Abraham says he wants to learn about investments. Mr. Charles Nyanya says a real estate developer from Abuja. Mr. Ahmed from Abuja says, I haven't invested with Gvest, but I'm looking forward to and I want to know about it. Miss Rose from Togo, you're welcome. We have a Togolese in the house. You're welcome. Hi, I'm Isioma, a human rights advocate from Abuja. Happy to be here. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Babafemi joined from Atlanta, US. I'm a data analyst and a real estate investor. You're welcome, Mr. Babafemi. Mr. Larion says, good evening, everyone. People are saying, I'm learning. Yes, I'm learning something. Great. I'll be back as we progress. Another thing you also have is what we call reduced risk, better due diligence, and stronger negotiation power. Remember when we were talking about building wealth, we spoke about OPT and OPM. OPT, when you're part of a cooperative, people do all these things on your behalf. And the same thing I link it when you're buying from real estate companies. So as an human being now, and I like bringing real estate because we're in the power of real estate. A lot of our funds are done in real estate investments, and for the past 10 years, we've been doing real estate in Nigeria, in the US, and in other parts of the world. And it's very important because you are working with a cooperative, there are reduced risk, there's better due diligence, there's stronger negotiation power, right, on behalf of people, whether as an investor, whether it is getting a new land, whether it is getting a new deal. In fact, because of how big the cooperative is and the type of people, the board behind the cooperative, they are likely to have a better and safer investment than investing as an individual, right? We had a case in our real estate property whereby we're buying some landed properties in Port Harcourt, and because the former IG of police is a board of advisor on our property, because he's a former IG of police, was able to find out the lands that are genuine and lands that are not genuine. Now, as an individual, if you have gone ahead to buy that property, there's high probability will be scammed. But because we came as an institution, right, and we're able to have so that these are the people behind us, this is our backing, these are people on our board of advisors, people are likely to what? Deal with us in a clearer and a better manner. So investing with a cooperative reduces your risk of your investments. There's better due diligence on what they're investing in, and there's a stronger negotiation power on behalf of people in our cooperative. The fourth point is pooled funds, OPM, in action for collective wealth. And like I said, as an individual, there are some investments that are attractive, but because the minimum buy-in is very high, maybe a 10 billion contract, it's a 2 billion property, right? We did a tour of properties in Doha, and there's a place they call Pearl Island. The minimum amount they sell a property on that island is $4 million. Right. In that same Pearl Island, there's another smaller island where the FIFA president has his own house, where the Sheikh of Qatar has his own house as well. Right. These are places where it's very attractive, and they tell you this place has high return on investment. In a couple of 5 years, you've made between 40% to 70% return on investment. It's attractive, but the minimum buying is so high. Right. But if you're buying with a cooperative, you are able to buy that same property. Maybe it's your 5 million, maybe it's your 10 million, maybe it's your 20 million. What does the cooperative do? They take that funds, they buy that project, right, and they generate returns, and they say, for a period of this, we are giving you X amount of percentage. Does that make sense? You're able to say, I have a fraction of this. And coming future, your investment grows, you can decide to buy a unit in those projects as well. The fifth part of actually being part of a cooperative is what we call shared profit and shared growth. Especially what we call equity projects. So for those of you just joining us, if you're just joining, we've been discussing about OPM and OPT, how you can grow wealth through other people's money, other people's time, and why investing with a cooperative is a better version than investing as an individual. And I spoke about an industry that uses this a lot. We call it debt syndication. And when you're talking about debt syndication, is that there are two types of syndication, either debt syndication and equity. So in debt syndication, you are investing with a company, you are having a crowdfunding initiative, and the company promises to give you X amount after every year. And at the end of maybe 3 years, 5 years, maybe when the project is done, you get your capital. Whereas when it comes to equity, you are collectively buying that project, whether the investment goes right, it goes wrong, you are sharing losses or sharing profits. So being a cooperative, you have different type of options that comes with you as time goes. You're able to share profits, you're able to share growth. As the cooperative grows, the members grows, those people in the cooperative also grow. The more the cooperative make money, at the end of the year, you get your own dividends based on the value of investment you have with this company. So joining cooperative is a fantastic way. A lot of people have grown wealth, multiplied their wealth, gotten access. Another beautiful thing we don't tell you about cooperatives is the level of networking that goes behind, because our cooperatives are full of like-minded individuals that have just the passion of growing wealth, business owners, all over the country. And these are also part of the perks of joining a cooperative. We have Mr. Hussein from Lagos. Johnson Jackson says, will the slides and the recordings be available? Yes, I'll send you the recordings. The recordings are available. The live link is available. We're quite a bit more guided about our slides because of impersonation. We don't want the slides to get into the wrong hands. And before you know it, Someone does a webinar and says it's advertising. Before you know it, some people say they've invested with us. Meanwhile, they are working with people that have impersonated us. So the slides are the property of Gvest. However, the recordings are available, and we're also streaming live on YouTube and as well as on Facebook as well. Thank you, Mr. Fasaki. So next slide, please. So let's go a little bit about us. For those of you that wanted to know about Gvest. So Gvest is a subsidiary built in the mission of democratizing real estate investments, making wealth creation through property accessible to all. By 2027, our target is to empower 200,000 diverse investors, providing them not only access but also active ownership in strategic real estate, agriculture, and technology ventures. We're creating an inclusive investment ecosystem that fosters community participation, cross-border ownership, and transparent value growth, bridging the gap between traditional real estate investing and innovative cooperative models. So for us at Gvest, what we are passionate about is, I remember a couple of years when our founder, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, started his own company. And the first thing he did was giving back to the society. The first company we created under GTS was known as Infinity Foundation over there, now known as Reactor Foundation. And his own goal was that if I'm born through poverty, right, does not mean everyone around me should not have a little fraction of what it's all about, right? And he tried a couple of years to try and finance it in through other individuals, understanding that before you can give back, it's important for you to make some money for yourself so that you can be able to give back. And then he vowed that if I can make it legitimately, despite where I'm coming from, right, I'll teach as many people as possible to make it in this life legitimately through the internet. And the first thing we started teaching was 20 different businesses you can learn using the internet. And real estate was one of them. So what am I saying? When we started Gvest, our goal was just that while building wealth, can we build wealth with a lot of people that have a collective mindset that build wealth? Because it's quite important that as much as we are building wealth, we have to build wealth what we call integrity. You have to be able to trace the source of your income, right? So while we are building a real estate company, we said a few people want to also build well with us, but do not want to own real estate properties. Do not want to go into the hassle of creating their own real estate company. Why don't we jointly own a project? And as we make money, we will share profits. And that's what Gvest is all about. And that's what our cooperative is all about. So how are we going to have a group of diverse investors all over the world that just have a common goal of what? Of building wealth legitimately, using what we call other people's money, right? And other people's time. And that's what Gvest is all about. So this is an introduction into our team. Of course, our chairman, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and our CEO of Gvest, actually, which is my group CEO, Mr. Rana Ijaz, will be joining us later today. We have our group CEO, Ms. Bukola Lukon, and me, of course, the MD of Gvest. I also have other parts of my team, our GM, Mr. Tonye. So for those of you that are existing investors that have been talking to us, many of you know Tonye, right? This is who the man is, and these are other people behind our team. We also have a board of advisors, which also intentionally we don't want to put them on this again, but we have a board of advisors which also meets quarterly to discuss on how we'll be able to use investors' funds to expand, how we're able to ensure Nigerian investments are used for our Nigerian investors, while our foreign investments are being used by our foreign investors. So I'm going back to our chat box. So if you have any questions so far, you can drop it. Also tell us where you're joining us from and your name. Technical says recording will be sent to your emails after the meeting. Mr. Zuberi says, okay. Mr. Tulopez says, I'm learning. But if you're getting value, can you just type, I'm getting value, so that we can be sure everyone is following. And please share this link to as many people as possible so they can also learn and join as well, and understand what we do here about Gvest. Because our job is just to do what? To build wealth, to create wealth, to manage wealth. Real estate is the only vehicle that you can use to create wealth, build wealth, manage wealth, and transfer wealth from generations to generations. And what we do in our cooperative is to focus on ensuring that we are investing in a safer way of investment, in a calculated risk, right? When it comes to investment is all risk, right? But here in Gvest, we ensure they have calculated risk, and then we ensure we pay you your return on investment as and when due, and communicate as much as we can. So Gvest again the first and largest digital cooperative in the world. Again, we're a world-building community. We're registered here in Nigeria as a cooperative, and also in the US, we're a SEC-filed exchange commission. We're filed a 506C, which is a fundraising initiative in the US. We allow investment in Naira and is in dollars. And of course, we're a multinational real estate company in Nigeria, in the US, in UK, in Dubai, and also in Qatar. And most of our investments are backed by digital and physical assets with GTEx Holdings, GTEx Land, and GTEx Homes. So why Gvest Cooperative? Again, we're registered in wealth building. We're focused on high yield real estate investments and business syndication. Again, we have transparent process, live tracking, and regular reporting. When we started Gvest a few years ago, for some of you that have been our early investors as far back as 2020, 2021, 2022, we started in traditional method, whereby, of course, you invest, you get a return on investment, you have to reach out to the office, you get emails. But as we evolve, we try to include our technological side. And that's why we have evolved into becoming a digital cooperative. What does that mean? Also, as a digital cooperative, you're able to track your investment for wherever you are in the world, which means we have a live app whereby you're able to see as your investment grows and matures as we move on. And this is what we call our Gvest app. For those of you that are part of our cooperative already, you can download our app. You can see your investments, see how it grows, matures, how you can reinvest. And as we improve, you'll be able to withdraw your investment. As we go down in this slide, we'll be talking about the new improvement that is coming to Gvest as we progress. But Gvest, again, is a unique platform, right? You're also able to track, monitor, have access to new and great deals. So whenever a new deal has popped up, whether you have invested already, you've not invested, as a new deal pops up, using the app, you are able to know that you're the first person to get information about it and able to progress accordingly. So what are you able to do with the Gvest app? You have to view your investments. You can see your ROI. You can have updates on your payout dates. You have a secure wallet system. You can track your portfolio. You get reminders. You get access to your investment documents as well. So this is what the app is all about. I encourage everyone to download the app. If you've not downloaded, you can check us on App Store. Gvest, just type Gvest on App Store, whether it is on Google Play or on iOS App Store. You can also scan the barcode and you can get access to it. We're also going to send to everyone's email whereby you're able to see and track your investment portfolio as you invest with Gvest. Ralike is asking a question. Are you registered with SEC? Of course, in the US, we are filed with SEC. But like I said, here in Nigeria, we're a cooperative. Also, as a cooperative, we have license to get investments from our cooperative members and also pay them return on investments. So we're registered in all form of licensing when it comes to dealing with investments in Nigeria. I hope that answers your questions, Ralike. So this is all about the Gvest app. I'm just going to move down as we proceed. Right, so I'm excited about what I'm going to do with the Gvest app. And as we evolve as a cooperative, there are a lot of things that are going to come into the app. The new thing we're also going to be bringing later in the last quarter of this year is, even if you have invested with us and you are getting returns on investment, maybe next year, you are able to take loan against your investment before your ROI even comes. So if you invested with us, let's say, for example, let's say now we say we give you 20% return on investment every year. And let's say you invest 20 million naira. 20% is how much? 20 million naira. 20% is about 4 million naira every year. Because your ROI is coming in certain, you can take a loan on that ROI. So these are different features that are actually coming up in the future. Because we are also a cooperative, you can also get proof of funds for embassy applications. You can use us for visa sponsorship for programs that we have in the US, in the UK, in Dubai. So these are also part of the benefits you have in investing with a cooperative. Other things is that you're also able to use our cooperative. You have a membership ID you can use for transactions, send and transfer out of your wallet and inside your wallet. You're also able to get a virtual card and a dollar card wallet integration. These are future updates we're also bringing to the Gvest cooperative. Like I said, we're in a community of building wealth, and it's more than just investing with us. Apart from investments, what else can you do as part of a cooperative? What else can we also do to you as part of our cooperative members? So beyond just investments and watching your investment grow, what else can you do using other people's money and other people's time. And that's the unique thing about Gvest that no one else can also give you. So let's look into some of the projects that we've had in Gvest and how we intend to use our funding, what we've been able to do over the years. Like I said, many of the investment that is done with Gvest is backed by a real estate portfolio. So thanks to Gvest, we've been able to do through the years, we're able to expand our real estate portfolio. And we have expanded to so many estates that we have in Nigeria. We have currently we have a portfolio of about 30 different estates in Nigeria, new estates and old estates. We're able to expand them, acquire estates and develop them. And in return, we have clients that buy land, buy properties, and when we sell those properties, we're able to pay people return on investment across 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, depending on how you are able to do that. So as a cooperative, we also have our own different projects in these projects as well. And it's something that cooperative members are able to also buy at a lower price than what you do when you go and buy from GTEx Land or from GTEx Homes. So let me put it into context. As a cooperative, we also have our own stake in each of these properties, which means every investment that people invest with us is backed by a property in all these regions. So as this property grow, your own investment also grow. So a lot of people ask us, right, what is the assurance that the money is being used? And I say, come to our portfolio, right? Our expansion in Nigeria, our expansion in the US, and our project that we're having in Jasper, Ibejuleki, our project that we're having in Abuja, right? We're building 25,000 luxury green and smart homes between now and 2035, right? Some of these units are already built, as you are seeing here. Some of them are already smart homes using inverter, green system, solar system, great, wonderful accessibilities. And we're also using to develop this estate. And in return, the company pays us back as a cooperative, and we're able to distribute and share wealth. I'll take questions as we proceed, but I'm still checking. What's the minimum investment that can be invested with Gvest? Typically, our minimum investment is 10 million naira, right? But I have an offer for those of you today as we proceed, which we're able to do a minimum of 2 million naira for those of you that are investing today. But the minimum we normally do is a 10 million naira minimum investment. I hope that answers Quincy Agidi. Also, if you want to reach out to us now as we proceed, Tony, can you please drop a phone number people can reach out to now if they are willing to invest immediately, so you can chat them up as we're having this webinar. So some of these investments are being put into property expansion. Like I said, what we have in Jasper Garden and Ibejuleki, we also have in Abuja as well. There are also some projects. These are 4 units that were recently under construction. These are part of our expansion we're able to do, where we're able to allocate to clients. This is one of our projects in Isheri. As you can recall, I spoke about having over 30 different estates in Nigeria, right? These are some of the physical projects that we have. We do the fencing, we do the gatehouse, we do interlocking roads to the estates for those of you that buy land banking. These are kind of the projects, and as these projects increase, we're able to regenerate, liquidate, and pay our investors. This work on progress in some of our sites. This is actually a new estate that we launched this year, Garnet City, Ibejuleki. This is other part of the projects that we have. Like I said, these are some of the projects that we also have. So for all of our investors that invest in Naira, all our Naira investments are tailored towards real estate-backed assets. So that's why I laugh when I see people talk about very high returns. Some people ask me, can you be paying us monthly? Can you be paying us weekly? I saw this company, they are giving 50%. I saw this company, they are giving this thing. They are giving this, they are giving that. The reason why there are a lot of scams when it comes to investment is because people are naturally attracted to high investments. And it's normal. Any investment higher than 30% per annum is high risk. It's high risk. In fact, for you to know that investments, right, returns are not as sweet as it is, look at the financial system. Even the loans in the bank is 26%, 28% because of our high inflation rates. So tell me how, even if the banks are giving as high as 26%, 28% for loans, so because what the banks are actually doing is other people's money to make money. So you put money in the bank and you are getting X amount. Maybe it's a fixed deposit, maybe it's just saving money. The bank takes your money and what? And loan it to people outside at the rate of 26%, 28%, 30%. They get that money and they pay you your 2%, they pay you your 4%, they pay you your 8%, right? They pay you your 10% and they make money. So the banks are using other people's money to make money. So why not put that money in a cooperative that you are a part of as a member? As the cooperative grows, you are also growing and also making money from that cooperative, because the better chances of you to get higher return on investment depends on how well the cooperative is also able to grow and expand their own portfolio. So as GTEx grows, the cooperative grows, you have access to more dividends, you have access to more equity funding, right? And that's why companies like CBEX can come and get money. And you're not even seeing what they are putting the money into. What you are focusing is very high returns, right? They are not showing where their assets is going into. Not, some of them will just show you one farm somewhere, and you say, this is the farm that all your billions are going into. But when you are seeing physical assets, you are seeing as we grow, as we move, as we expand, right? 10 years ago, we started one estate in Ikorodu. And as a company, one loan is not taken from the bank. We've been building our company with OPM and what? OPT. Right? The company is growing in my own time. Do you understand? So this is a secret that other people don't tell you. These are the formula that we're also saying. So while the company grows, why don't we allow individuals to also benefit, to also grow? Right? So for a Naira investment, like I said, is being used to do different projects all across Nigeria. Of course, I can go on and on and on, but I have at least 30 different sites in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Ibadan, in Asaba, in Ogun State, in Oyo State as well. We have a new estate that we're launching next week in Ijebu as well. One went for the Ojide Oba. We visited the estate as well. Next week, Saturday, we're having this launch. Very soon, we're launching new estates in Enugu, in Abia State. And as we expand, cooperative members are also able to come in and be the first-time investors, get pre-launch offers, and buy this property at a lower rate than you do when you're coming individually into the company. Okay, so for our US, last year we started a new fundraising program for our US projects. We had some of our investors that invested in dollars. We started with a minimum of $10,000, and then of course some of these investments are for 3 years, for 5 years, for 7 years. We're actually building a $200 million project portfolio in the US, and our goal is that in the next 10 years we're able to have as many development as possible. We're actually one of the first real estate companies to actually own, asset, and sell land in retail in the US. And this is one of our projects. I'll expand it so you can see. So in the US, what we basically call survey here in Nigeria, we call it like a platinum. We call it platinum approval. And this is a property. It's a 99-acre property in Brookshire. And of course, this is what we intend to do. This project is going to cost us typically at the whole, when we are done in the next 10 years, is a project that can cost us as much as $100 to $150 million. Of course, when it's fully built, we tend to build single family homes, to put a golf course in the middle, to put a lake, to sell condominiums, to sell luxury service plots, to develop the whole property. It's a full-blown project that Gvest Cooperative members are able to enjoy. So you're in Nigeria, you want to buy land in the US, courtesy of GTEx Holdings, Gvest Cooperative. The investment people are able to invest in dollars, but able to put it into this project. And the beauty thing about Gvest that also gives you is a sense of ownership, right? The fact that I'm doing something great, I'm being part of something bigger. I personally tell myself that I don't want to invest in a project that at the end of the day, after 5 years, 10 years, I'll be passing that project and I'll be pointing that I was part of this project, but there's nothing to show for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you're investing with some financial institution that do not even give you a sense of ownership, a buy-in, or an access, for example, you invest with the banks. At the end of the month, banks is just giving you money. But being part of something, part of a project, it gives you sense of life, gives you sense of purpose, gives you sense of ownership, right? I invested in this project. I was part of it. I was in a meeting where we were discussing where we are going to expand to the US, right? Some of them were part of us 2 years ago when we were expanding to the US. And lo and behold, they've seen us expand to the US. They've seen us be a part of a new office in Katy. We have a new office in Katy. 3 years ago, we didn't have that. 4 years ago, we were not in Dubai, right? 5 years ago, we only had about 10 estates. right? But a lot of people have been part of our growth, seen us grow over the years, which is the beautiful thing about cooperatives, right? You grow as a company, what as a company grows. So for this project, planting takes a lot of time in the US. So a couple of 1 year, 1.5 years, we can start building or developing on this project. But the first thing we are doing is to put a golf course. We started selling this property earlier late last year. We started selling individual plots for $40,000, and people buying acres for $150,000. We have some investors that have invested in our projects in the US. This is one of them in Brookshire. Let me just show you what we are building. I hope you all can see my slide. Like I said, it's a 99-acre property. We're selling individual lots, we're selling individual plots, and people can actually invest in this project as well. But let me just see what is here. Let me see response. Please let us know the ROI on the 2 million and how do you pay the ROI? We pay ROI every 18 months, but investors today we're willing to do every 12 months for you. Baba Femi says you're 100% right. That is financial literacy and average person needs. Of course, I tell people it's financial because if you don't understand, most of the time you ask questions, right? There's something people in the tech used to say: front end and back end. Front end is what they present to you in front. Back end is what goes on behind the scenes. So this webinar is just telling you we are going to give you money. No, no. I will tell people, don't just invest with us because we are giving returns. No. Invest because you believe in what you are doing. You must be a part of what you are doing. Right? And that's what we're showing you. This is the back end. Right? This is why it is investment. Our goal is this thing expands and we're able to even outlive what we are promising to give you. Does that make sense, everybody? So at the end of the day, we're able to say, okay, we promise you X amount at the end of this tenure. This investment did so well, we're able to give you some extra bonus. Does this make sense, everyone? Also, investment in the US is quite fantastic. First of all, you are investing against naira goes up, dollar goes up, your investment is coming back in dollars. Because you're investing in dollars, your investment stays in the US. You're investing in naira, your investment stays in naira. Of course, we give more returns in naira because, of course, our market has higher inflation. We're able to give between 14% to 26%. 26% if you are doing as high as a billion naira, 750 million naira, we're able to give you 26%. If you are doing as low as 2 million naira, we're able to give you 14%, 5 million naira, as soon as so forth. Right? Of course, it's all calculated risk, and these are how each of the investments are backed by physical assets. Everyone just type physical assets, physical assets, physical assets. Right? Type physical assets. All your investment with Gvest Cooperative are backed by physical assets, not audio, not on the air. And that's why we said we have an app that is able to track your investment. Even see as it grows, the value of this thing grows. And we're having a new update at the end of July, whereby you're able to see some new other information on the app. We're also working on giving everybody ATM cards. In fact, all our previous investors, as you are investing into Gvest, you are getting a membership ID, a unique membership ID, right? You're going to get an onboarding document, all the rules and guidelines of being part of a cooperative. Like I said, we just don't want individual investors. We want people that are really, really willing to build wealth with each other. Like I said, today's topic is on OPM and OPT. Other people's money, other people's time. Use my time to build wealth. Use me, use our company. Let us build wealth for you and you go to sleep. Right? Yabasi says, I like part of this seminar explaining the ROI and how to avoid scams in investment. Of course. David Okotie says, send me the phone number. So you can start sending a message to this phone number, +234-7062-779567 or +234-701-408-7669. You can drop your WhatsApp message. Someone will respond to you. And for those of you on Facebook, technical, please can you pin those numbers on Facebook and on YouTube for those of them joining us. Kenichiku says, sorry, just joining. What's the percentage ROI? Please, as you progress, we'll be able to show you that. Sorry, Mr. Kelechi. Okay, so physical assets. Thank you so much. Your phone number is being dropped. So like I said, we have a lot of projects in the US. This is one of them, and this is one of my favorites because when I knew about real estate, typically, what I basically knew was normal money. whereby you buy. I remember when my mom first bought her first property in Ibafo, and she had to pay 3 times for the land. The first day that, and this is also a story, and it's very important. I like to share stories when we are teaching, so it can be more practical. And I know a lot of you have. Wait, who has gotten involved with buying property from Monile before and had any problem? Let me be sure people can relate. If you can type, if you have been through that, just type, "I've been through that before." The first they wanted to mount the first block. Some people came and said, wow, sorry, because we have people that are not from Lagos or something, or yeah, but this land we are the owners, right? So we had to bring the landowner. What's going on? They said, the person that we bought the land from is not the right person, right? This is the right person we bought. Another person again we bought. It was the third time we were able to now buy that land and build what we wanted to build and settle the boys. And like I said, for those of you that joined us earlier, one of the beautiful things it comes with investment institutions like this is because there's a better due diligence. Who has agreed that if my mom had gone from a real estate company, she will not buy that land 3 times. The same thing with investment. Put your investment where you can see as it grows. So Bapemi says, for example, when someone starts to receive his ROI and he decides to add to the original amount, he starts investing, but it's not up to the next available amount to be invested. For example, she invests 5 million and got back 1 million as ROI. I want to add to that to continue. Is that possible for you to match the next amount required? Fantastic question. The only thing about the new Gvest app is that the app automatically calculates what your ROI will be. So typically what we usually do is a threshold. So you can say from 2 million to 5 million is X amount, not that it has to be 2 million. You can invest 4 million, you can invest 3 million. From 5 million is this amount to 10 million, this is the range. At 10 million, the ROI increases. Does that make sense? So for example, let's say 5 million is 16%, 10 million is 18%. Does not mean, and you want to add, if you add 3 million to investment to be 8 million, you'll be getting the ROI of what that 5 million will be because it's a range. It goes to 9.9999 million. But immediately you hit that 10 million, the ROI what increases. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And people ask me, why is it not fantastic? Why is it not flat? It's normal. The type of, like I said, is pool. You want to reward people that put a more lion share into it. Does that make sense? People that are able to risk more. It's simple. Higher risk, higher reward. Does that make sense, everyone? If you go to the bush, right, and a you catch a rat, a bush rat, or you catch a antelope, there's higher risk for antelope because for antelope you have to chase it. Do you understand? For rat, you just set a trap. So there's does that make sense, everybody? So it comes to things like that. That's why we ensure we're able to pay people that invest higher returns, and like that is spread. And of course, you can upgrade your investment as you proceed. Where our clients are able to reinvest. Some people invested their capital. Where would I say, okay, I've invested 10 million, let me invest. I have a client that has over 60 million with us. I invested 3 different times. Let me see if our client is here. We have some clients here, which I'm sure they are also here. So this is where we put this investment into. So as we proceed, again, I love this. Who agrees is a very beautiful design? If you believe it's a beautiful design, just type beautiful, beautiful design. If you know, if it's not beautiful, type is not beautiful. Let's even know those that understand what I'm saying. If it's a beautiful design, type beautiful, fantastic. So you are with me. Beautiful. Mr. Rafemi, beautiful. Beautiful design. Brightness Peters, beautiful. I'm seeing your messages. Beautiful design. Let me also see there's a Q&A session. Sorry, I didn't check that intentionally. What about stocks investments? I spoke about stocks are also part of OPM and OPT. With stocks, you are buying with the company. As the company grows, the value of the company, your shares, it grows as well. You are using the time of the employees there. Do you understand? You're also using OPM. Those that have invested, their money grows, your stocks also grows. So, like I said, OPM, OPT is the secret of how people are able to build wealth. Right? Thank you. Only 3 people agrees is beautiful. The rest of you, you don't know beautiful things. I apologize for that. This is another project that we have in Richmond. So we have some people that joined us from the US. This is a project that we had in Richmond, and this project is a project that we should have actually started this year for some of our investors. But like I said, approvals in the US take a long time. Typically, you can have 2 years for your first plating approval. So we call one vertical plating, horizontal plating. The first plating is when they approve your layout. It can take typically 2 years. Depends on the location, whether it's Texas. Moreover, some of our investors are in Texas, and Texas is a fantastic place. Let me tell you a beautiful fact about this estate in Brookshire. This estate, this property is located in the same Brookshire where Elon Musk is building a giga factory, right? If you can Google it now. Just find Tesla factory in the US. It will show you. There's a whole news article. There's a whole interview where Elon Musk came and said they are building a mega factory in Texas. And because of that, and like I said, we call it calculated risk, like we do. Every investment that we do on behalf of the cooperative is calculated, is futuristic, right? There are some properties that we bought here in Nigeria for 1.5 million. In about 5 million naira, that property is already 35 million naira. And those of our clients that bought those property from us, right? And that is calculated risk we done in Nigeria. Also in the US is also the same. And again, this is one of the beautiful reasons why we decided to invest our US funds in this project. So like I said about this is supposed to last kickstarted this year, but because of platinum approvals, we decided to move the building and development of this Richmond project. But again, it's another beautiful. We like using natural resources all around our property. So this one has a wonderful river. We put a golf range in between, recreational activities, where we're also building 4 and 5 bedroom. So we'll move this project to start by the year 2027. Hopefully all approvals are going to come up, and then we can resume this project. But guys, good news, good news, good news. Good news, good news. And I'm quite excited about this new project. This is another project that we're hoping to start by next month and kickstart, as if we can close this as soon as possible. I think we're just short of I think just $5 million to kickstart this project. A lot of people have invested in this project. So here we are building 24 units of 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments. And our goal is to complete this before the World Cup 2026 in the US. A lot of people are aware that for those of you that watch football, soccer, the World Cup is coming to the US, and this property is just 12 minutes from Bush International Airport, about 15 minutes from downtown Houston. And by my count, I think the World Cup is being shared between US, Mexico, and I think Canada, I believe. And at least 8 different football matches in downtown Houston. And this property is just 15 minutes from downtown Houston. And our goal is to build these 24 units and use for Airbnb. And for those of you that went to the World Cup in Qatar, you saw how Qatar blew up, the World Cup blew up the whole of Qatar in terms of real estate investments. So this is a project. This is a project that is guaranteed. Sorry, because we are online. In fact, in the US, if you use the word guarantees for deals, they can sue you. So please track that. This is an investment that is projected to get maximum return on investment. So a lot of people ask, how do you want to pay us back our investment? This is part of the project. We intend to start this project in July. Now, the first is in 3 different blocks, 8 units per block. The first block is supposed to be completed in about 3 to 4 months. We move to the next one and move to the next phase. So the goal is to also lease it out for the next 10 years, and then we can sell it off. So people in the corporate are able to buy into this project. We buy in the name of Gvest US. Like I said, we are filed with SEC in the US. We're able to crowdfund with the 506C in the US. Accredited investors can invest. People outside Nigeria can also invest. Just show us your valid ID, although we have some certain few questions just to ensure why regulations. Investment of 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. I have some clients that invested 200,000, 400,000 last year. And of course, they are getting their returns every 18 months as well. So this is this project. Like I said, 24 units, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 12 minutes from downtown Houston, 15 from Bush International Airport. And of course, the goal is to lease it out for the World Cup and make a lot of money, and of course, share profits. Which state is this? How much is the minimum? Like I said, this state is in Texas. It's in Tidwell. Call it Tidwell, Texas. It's actually in Tidwell in Texas. How much is the minimum? The minimum we are taking for this is $20,000, Mr. Babafemi. But again, today we are willing to do as low as 10,000. But I recommend this is part of investment you are able to do. So if you're interested in buying the land in Nigeria, buying the land in the US, well, fantastic. But investment is also, like I said, investment is you're just going to sleep. You get your returns and you're good to go. You move on. You're able to reinvest, build network with the cooperative, right? Um, okay, as we proceed, we'll be having my group CEO and my chairman in about 10 minutes. In about 10 minutes. So please, can you get them ready so that I can bring them up very soon? But has this been worth your while so far? Please just type. If you've gotten value, just type, I've gotten value, I've gotten value, I've gotten value. Okay. I'll be showing you our return on investments next very soon. But everyone, this is what Gvest is all about. We are democratizing wealth creation here, and our goal is just that you grow your wealth, and you put it in well calculated, safe, mid-risk investments. Of course, investments are here and there, but the goal is something that is really, really what you are looking forward to. So this is part of some of the capital and ROI we have paid. So some of the ROI we have paid in the past few years. I think we've paid a total of 470, almost 471 million as of now, as return on investments to some clients. Of course, some of the tenure, the capital goes back after 5 years. Some people invested for the next 10 years. Maybe they are getting maybe 5 million, 2 million, 1 million, 3 million every year. Some of our investors say, keep our capital, keep our ROI to the end, right? I want to get it at the end. So we've paid a lot. I think the highest we paid was last year. We paid over about 170 million last year. This year so far, we've paid about 125 million. And we're still paying. At least at the end of this year, we should have paid. A lot of people are getting their capital back. So at the end of this year alone, we should pay. If we've paid 124 million as at May, we should have paid by the end of the year about 300 million by the end of the year. So we pay our investors as time goes by, of course, every year. For those that are collecting every year, and this is only in Naira, for example. We also do dividend back in dollars as well. So this is fiscal financial report we're able to pay in Gvest. So these are just some of the proof of ROI that we've paid. Just for, again, we've tried to blow out some of the accounts. This is an 8 million that we paid in March. This is another 9 million that we paid in March as well. This is a 4 million. This is a 3 million that we've paid through, like I said, Gvest allows our cooperative. That we've also paid to some of our clients. So in terms of return on investment, we, like I said, typically the minimum we do is 10 million naira. But for those of you that are willing to invest today, we're able to give you an offer whereby for 2 million naira, you get 16% return on investment every year. For 5 million naira, you get 18% every year. For 10 million, you get 20% every year. For 20 million, you get 22% every year. And as it goes, for 50 million, you get 24%. If you are doing from 100 million to 500 million, you are able to get as high as possible. 1 billion, you get as high as 26% every year. So for our US investment, for those already asking, we pay our US investment every 18 months. So minimum of $10,000. Typically, we've given an extra 4% ROI that expires in July. So for example, yes, you're investing $10,000. Typically, what you're supposed to get after 3 years is 20%. But because we have 4% extra, you're able to get 24% after 3 years. That's typically 8% per annum. Typically, what you get in the banks in the US is typically 6%, 7%. Because of the current interest rates they have in the US is between 4%, 5%, 6%. So the banks gives you 7%, 8% in some reasons. But as you go higher in Gvest, like I said, the higher you invest, the more your return on investment. $50,000 gives you typically 54% every 3 years, which is an again, you can do the maths. $100,000, you get 40% every 3 years, which is an average of 13% every year. 200,000 gives you about 14% every year, and $1 million gives you about 15% every year. So because we are dealing in dollars, the maximum returns we can ever give in dollar denomination is about 15% per annum. But in the US, what we pay is every 18 months. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. That's the presentation that I'm having. Okay, technical, please can you make, let me see. So do we have any questions so far? Any questions? Any questions so far? Okay. All right. So I'll be introducing my next speaker. Let me stop my screen. Hope you all can hear me. Okay, fantastic. So up next, I'll be having our group CEO, Mr. Rana, who is the CEO of Gvest. He's an investment banker, a CPA by profession, with over 2 decades in investments in the US. He has worked with a lot of big multinational companies in investments, in consulting, including Deloitte, big companies in Dubai. Is a group CEO based in Dubai. He works from our US office, our Dubai office. He comes to Nigeria from time to time. We gave him a Nigerian name the last time he came. We called him Emeka. Mr. Rana, are you ready for us, sir?
Yes,
Okay,
Mr.
let's have
Farouq.
it. And please
Yeah.
let's see the emoji. Just clap. You're welcome, Mr. Rana. You're welcome, Mr. Rana. You're welcome, Mr. Rana. Mr. Rana, good day, sir.
Good day, Mr. Farouq. Thank you so much for having me and reminding me of my Nigerian name, Ameka. So I love to carry that actually. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Rana Ijaz. For the people who are meeting me first time, I'm a group CEO for GTEX Holdings, and I'm an investment banker by profession, more than 25 years of experience. I've been exposed to consulting, advisory, and more mainly into the real estate space. So I've been involved behind the big mega projects in Dubai, including Burj Al Arab and Dubai airports. So do understand construction, do understand the real estate. Uh, I picked up a position with the GTEX Holding as a group CEO 2 years back. Basically, chairman has headed off. He's more of an advisory role now. I'm the one who leads the team of all the MDs. So just a bit of introduction because it's so important so you understand what this company is getting up to and what's the expansion plans behind. Because one of the reason of my joining, primarily Dr. Steve was looking for someone with the banking and fund management background so we can take this business forward. Because you might be well aware of that. We have expanded into US big time with coming a fantastic projects, I think, which will Farouq will need to play some videos down the line. And heavy expansion to Middle East. We just were opening up office in Doha. We have an office in Dubai since last 5 years. So revamping our operations in the UK as well. And the whole idea behind my coming in was to expand and support the business with a financial management point of view. We are looking to raise significant institutional funding, which is my background, and taking the business forward to the next level. Uh, about Gvest, this is something I think most of them you are aware. If some we have some new joinees, this is an investment platform. We were declared one of the best investment corporate subsidiary by Lagos government state and was honored to receive that award personally on the ground. So we are running it successfully for 5 years. hundreds of satisfied customers. Farouk was just running the numbers. We have paid over a billion in the repayments of returns and capital repayments. We are a business operating in African environment. Nigeria, in particularly, is not easy. You would all agree with me, especially with the currency fluctuations and Nigerian devaluations of last 1 year, which is almost yeah. Yeah, sorry for that. I was thrown out of the for a second. Can you hear me, Farouk? Yes.
Carry on, sir. We
So
can get you.
yeah, yeah. So well, I was just mentioning. So even in that kind of business environment, Gvest has done excellent job. Uh, we had some our share of problems where we had certain delays in repayments. At the same time, we have been very transparent to our clients and have been making those payments eventually. I just want to make it very, very clear. We are a real estate business fundamentally. The funding we raise for the GWest capital basically eventually go into the real estate projects. And real estate projects are not that currently liquid. So we do spend money in acquisition lands, developing those land, including fencing, in tarred roads, putting all the necessary infrastructure, including water drainages. So what it does eventually, that makes the capital appreciation in those land which you acquire, and actually we sell them on profits, and it generate enough cash so that goes into your return of investments. If you look at the profit rate what GWest are offering, they are extremely good offering compared to any other local banks in Nigeria. We're just amazed to see the GWest capital in the US. Just 2 years back, it's a SEC filed company, a secured structure, 15% return in terms of dollars. I'm a banker. I can bet uh, if you can get these kind of returns in a secured structure where your investments are secured, backed by a landed property. It's a kind of fractional ownership scheme, what we are offering. And we are quite flexible in terms of for example, if you don't have $1 million, we come up with a fraction. You come with $100,000. You can become a fraction ownership to that project, and you are very certain what you're going to receive at certain period. 18 months is the minimum period, what Farouk mentioned. So 15% is a lot, guys. I bet you in Europe there are negative interest rates. You pay money to keep your deposits. So I would encourage everyone look into the offerings. We are running a campaign at the moment. So Farouk would, I think you will be highlighting more on that with the deadlines. I would encourage everyone look into this. We have both options. If you are based in the US and you are a accredited investor, you are most welcome. There is a full-fledged, seamless process. You can do invest and you can open GVest app, go through all the documentation. Our team is there to help you out. And if even you are in the US, you want to invest in the US subsidiary, our cooperatives, you're most welcome. You can do that. Even people sitting in Nigeria can invest in the US platform. So this is something what we're offering. We are basically a real estate fundamental business, but we do offer them. You can make some investment in the liquid form because eventually, if you buy land or homes, and tomorrow you want to liquidate, it takes some time. It's not a cash or near to cash asset. But GVAS is unique in that structure. You grow your money, but it's more liquid and readily available to you at the due dates. So I look forward and I'll be around for any question answers, Mr. Farouk, if you want to expand me in any certain direction.
Thank you, Mr. Rana. Thank you. Very well said. Always happy to have you here. I have some questions in the Q&A. Technical, please stop replying questions on Q&A. We need to reply it loud because other people may have some questions regarding that. If you answer them, I won't be able to reply them online here. Technical, please let me see all the questions before you answer. We have some of our clients here. So if you're a client, can you just raise your hand? I think I have someone that I know here. If you're any client, you've done business with us, I just want to give it a little, just talk a bit about us. Please come up
By
before
the
I.
way, just Mr. Farouk, just reminder, we are going to have the Gvest dinner coming up. I would like to remind all our existing clients and the potential customers, please, there's a physical event. Details are already shared out, and even the team would be happy to share tonight. So please, we'll be happy to welcome you where we can exhibit more what we have done with the funding, how much we have grown so far, and we have done a fantastic job. And Mr. Farouk is the new MD, a very energetic young MD, and it's taking the company to the new dimension. I think Gvest is a name to reckon in the Nigerian market in particular.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rana. Yes, so we have a Gvest dinner in Nigeria. We have one in the US. Tomorrow we're having, which is on Monday, we're having a real estate tour and a real estate dinner for those in the US. I'll drop a phone number for you to reach out to. You can tour our projects like we all discussed today. You can also have a conversation, a dinner with us to discuss if you're an existing investor. And also, if you're an intending investor as well, you're also welcome to join us on the tour. So I have a question that from someone that says, what are the steps to becoming a cooperative member? So typically, our cooperative is a membership only. It's 100,000 if you are joining. However, if you come in as an investor, we waive that amount to you. Do you understand? So if you are investing with us, that comes as a waiver automatically. You become part of the cooperative. Like I said, there are so many perks of being part of a cooperative because you are investing as a collective, right? As a collective, you're able to share profits, be more expanded to bigger projects that you cannot do as an individual. Being part of something great, being part of something, part of a network, part of like minds, collective mind, build your own empire with wealth. This is what we discussed earlier. OPM, other people's money and other people's time, right? And that's part of being a cooperative. So you can pay the sum of 100,000 to be onboarded on our app, get your membership ID number, and of course, you can start building and saving with us little by little before you invest. But if you invest with us, that comes as a, we like call it as a bonus, be part of our cooperative and as soon as possible. Someone asks, is the payment being made? I discussed this. And please, I'm seeing anonymous attendee. Please write your name so we can address it properly. And I addressed this earlier. Monthly ROI is tantamount to being investments with scam companies. Anyone that decides to pay you monthly in an economy like this is highly likely high risk investment. It's as if you are working with someone that is ready to scam you. And it's a matter of time. They pay you returns in a couple of months. Before you know it, they disappear. Right? That's how CBEX started. That's how MMM started. That's where a lot of people started. Right? So because we want to, like I said, these are being backed by physical real estate assets. Your money goes into something in the ground. You cannot liquidate a real estate asset after 1 month. You can't buy land today and in 1 month sell and make profit. It is not realistic, right? So we're able to make use of the money, develop the money, and like I said, being part of the cooperative, we have this very transparent dealings like we've done today. This is the project we're investing in. This is the project we're invested in. We need a minimum of 12 months so that we can pay you back. Typically, it will take 18 months to even pay returns. But I'm saying for those of you that are investing today, right, we're willing to do 12 months, get your return. In fact, if you leave it to the end of the tenure, it's even better for every one of us. So investments ROI are paid every 12 months. I hope that answers your question. Mrs. Olubukola, I'm trying to bring you up. Please accept. Technical, are you ready for Dr. Stevens' profile before I bring him up? Okay. Ms. Olubukola is rejoining us. As soon as she's done, we can.
No, bring her up, Mr. Farouk. I saw her on the call.
Yes. Hello, Ma, are you with us? You need to unmute yourself. Oluwabukola Road.
Yes. Good evening,
Yeah, we
Mr.
can't see you,
Farouk.
Ma.
Okay, you want to see me?
Of course, now. I've not met you in person, but I hope. Yeah, the
It's
typical
dark.
investment. Yes, now.
I think it's a little bit dark here.
Yeah, it's fine. We'd love to see your beautiful face. You're looking wonderful. You're looking lovely. All my investors are flying shipping. How are you doing today, Ma?
Yes, I'm fine. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, Ma. Thank you for being part of us. I think you bought landed property from us. You've also invested with us. So how has been
Yes.
so far with GTExt?
Well, we thank God. So far, so good from 2020. That was my first, I think that was my the year I met Dr. Stephen, and I bought some about 2 plots of land. And since then, it has been a wonderful journey with you guys. Then after then, I did some investments with Gvest. So I have lands, I have Gvest. So I did investments up to 10 million. So I think it will mature by next year, February, for the
Okay.
past 3 years now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to serve you. Yeah, using my time. I'm excited to serve you and ensure you get maximum return on your investment. So my question before I just let you go, why did you choose to invest with us? Why GZX? Why GVest?
Um, the, I, like I said, 2020, the first investment I did was land. But before the land, I first of all subscribed to, is it cryptocurrency investment training and all that. Then I moved to land and then Gvest. That tells you that I had my inner peace around Gvest or GTEX as a company since I've started working with you, having a business meetings and all that. Actually, I've never attended any physical meeting that you do organize at Lagos hotel or something like that. But I've been to the office at around Allen, Ikeja there, just only once, and I've been interacting with a lot of staff of GTEX and GVest and all that. And they've been wonderful people. And even when I was having issues, they always look for solution around it, and it's always win-win thing. And there have been this inner peace, and because I'm a Christian, the Bible says that in everything, there will be peace that will guide me. So far I have that peace. So I forge ahead, despite all the challenges, the rumor and all that I have been hearing, I still have my inner peace about dealings with give text and givest.
Thank you so much, Ma. Fantastic. Are you in Lagos? You're
No,
in
no,
Lagos.
no, no.
Where are you now?
I'm a bona fide Nigeria woman, Yoruba woman, but I reside in Lome.
Okay.
I work in Togo
You're the one that is
because
joining us from Togo.
yes,
All right, fantastic. So whenever you're next in Nigeria, I'll be ready to host you because we're having an investors dinner in Lagos and Abuja in July. And
yes, I saw
if
that.
you're around, we wonderfully love to have you, have a seat with you, and treat you as one of our customers. Thank you so much for joining us today. So
Thank you
just
so
one
much.
before you go, what do you advise people that want to invest with us? What will you tell them?
Okay, the first thing I wanted to say is that they are sure that their money is protected, their investment is protected, because there is always a land to back it up. Because I asked that question, what about if there were issues later on and all that? They said that they will pay me back through lands or any other thing. So your money is protected or your investment is protected. Then secondly is Dr. Stephen is a known person, and I know that he has integrity. He won't like to soil his name. So because of that, the brand is well, is he want to protect his name. So definitely your investment also is protected. So because of these two factors, and there is God factor there also, because I looking at the biography of Dr. Stephen, is a Christian, and I believe he has a God-fearing mind. So based on this, I think anybody that wants to invest should be rest assured that they're in a safe hand. You are open to ask any questions. Anytime you need help, you can always have help at any time. Not only Dr. Stephen, but any staff will attend to you and give you the same answer Dr. Stephen is going to give you. And like today now, I've spoken with Mr. Toye, I've challenged him, and he told me this, and all that. So they know me, I will fight a lot, but we are good to go and all that. So they are my good friends and all that. Jokes apart, I have my peace. I have my peace with Gvest and GTEx. I have my peace, and I can bet you won't regret investing or doing business with them.
Thank you so much, Ma. I'm glad to have you say this kind words. We take it as a feedback, and for us, we're going to also improve on our services so that you're going to enjoy this. This is a relationship with us to the best to the fullest. And GVX is so much more than Dr. Steven. In fact, it's an investor like you. I owe him returns at the end of the year. I have to answer to the board as well, and it's quite in our best interest to ensure that we treat your clients as good as we can and ensure
Yeah.
we protect your investment and give you maximum returns on
Yeah, your
investment.
customer service is superb. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Kind words.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Oluwabukola. I think now we'll have you go. Thank you, ma.
Thank you too. Bye.
Fantastic. As you can recall when we started, I spoke about the fact that the passion about GVS is not about just getting money. It all stems right from the conversation is how can we help people to build wealth? The cryptocurrency she spoke about was part of the training businesses we used to teach people. How can you create wealth from yourself for yourself legitimately, right? From the internet. And that's how she came in contact with us, bought some property, and now she has gone into investments. And like I said, GVS Cooperative is all about creating a relationship and building wealth from now to the end of eternity. And this is why you should be a part of us. Up next, I'll be having my chief investor today, the chairman of GTX Holding, Dr. Steven. But before we have him, I'd like to play his profile.
Dr. Stephen Akintayo is a globally renowned investment coach, real estate mogul, and philanthropist of African descent. He is the chairman of G-Text Holdings, which operates across the US, UK, Dubai, and Nigeria, with multiple subsidiaries. He is also the founder of the Stephen Akintayo Foundation, SAF. He's a member of the Forbes Business Council and a recipient of several prestigious awards, including the Forbes Best of Africa Leading Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul by Forbes Best of Africa Award, 2023. Dr. Akintayo spearheads a $200 million expansion project in the US, solidifying his impact in global real estate. His vision is to control 25,000 green and smart homes across 4 continents and have a real estate portfolio of $40 billion under management by 2035. Through the Stephen Akintayo Foundation, he aims to empower 1 million entrepreneurs by 2050, offering grants and mentorship to drive financial independence and sustainable development. An advocate for wealth creation education, he founded the Stephen Akintayo University. Robert Kiyosaki, John Maxwell, Brian Tracy, Grant Cardone, Ryan Serhat, Sam Adiyemi, Les Brown, Dan Locke, and Dr. Cosmas Maduka are among the many facilitators at Stephen Akintayo University and authored 45 books, including Billionaire Habits. They are available on Amazon or visit store.stephenakintayo.com. He hosts investment chat in a Rolls-Royce and other influential platforms, featuring global thought leaders. Despite humble beginnings in Maiduguri, Nigeria, Dr. Akintayo overcame adversity to build a multi-billion-dollar empire. He holds degrees in microbiology, strategic leadership, and real estate investment, and is a Harvard alumnus. Driven by social impact, he launched the Mercy Food Bank, aiming to feed 1 billion people by 2050. Dr. Akintayo loves adventures like travel, skydiving, scuba diving, hot air balloon experience, swimming and golfing, and many more adventures. He's married and blessed with children, and continues to inspire through his transformative vision, leadership, and philanthropy. To invite Dr. Stephen Akintayo for a speaking engagement, kindly visit www.stephenakintayo.com/booking or email ea@stephenakintayo.com.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I want to thank you all for being part of today's training. I hope you picked 18 or two from the presentation Mr. Farouq did. For me, I just want to encourage you guys with a few words, and I'm done. I should be out of here in the next 10 minutes. The first thing I want to say is that every investment comes with a risk, right? And one of the things we don't teach well in our part of the world, particularly from where we come from, is for people to understand that you are taking a risk, right? However, part of it is called calculated risk. And so where we come from, we do not, and this is why many businesses don't grow in Africa, because we don't even understand this conversation around risk. If you invest in the New York Stock Exchange, you bought Tesla shares, and it was a risk you took. The shares can crash. You're not going to go and hold Elon Musk accountable for shares that crash because you understand you took a risk. So that's the first thing we need to know. Number two thing I want to share is that it is also risky not taking investment risk, right? Because I always share this with a lot of people. You sometimes see people say, hey, be careful. They're going to scam you. They're going to cheat you. My question is this. Show me one person who has become rich that has not lost money. Dangote has lost money. Otedola lost $1 billion in one day, right? Give me money. Stephen Akintayo, we just lost over £1 billion in some of our work with property. They did Coastal Road. We lost 5 acres. We had some field. We were fenced. We lost all of that. Another estate not too far off, they took the entire estate, started fighting people. I've lost a lot of money in business, right? But you won't not always see me talk about it because I understand what I was doing when I started. There's a risk I could lose some, but I will win some. Okay. So the question is this: how come those of us who are richer have lost money, and yet a lot of people who are not as rich as we are, okay, have never lost money? Can somebody type in the comment section? What do you think? Why is it that rich people lose money, but poor people don't lose money? Can anybody just drop? I'm curious. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Like rich people lose money, and it's all okay. A few weeks ago, Elon Musk lost $35 billion when he started fighting Donald Trump. By just a tweet, speaking against Donald Trump, the shares of Tesla went down, and his own equity in Tesla, he lost over $35 billion. And life goes on. Okay? But if somebody who is not even nearly as rich as Elon Musk lose, let's even say $5,000, the person will do a Facebook Live. The person will look for everybody to blame. Okay? Create drama. Now, if the person now invested with a black person, he will drag the black person's name, create all manner of nonsense, right? If the same person invests with a white person, and the white person says, well, I'm sorry, it's, the form, what you sign, it's our policy, the person will keep quiet and move on. But because it's another fellow black man, he will claim he's or she is trying to help the community and say, yes, be careful, be careful. It's a culture that needs to stop, right? If we really want to build wealth among people of color, because we have a higher, now, I'll give you some data. Here in the US, I live in the US. And here in the US, the data shows that the money that people of color have is more than the money even white people have. But here's the problem. The money does not stay among the black people. In other words, when a white man makes money, he patronizes another white man. When a Jewish man makes money, he patronizes another Jewish man. When a black man makes money, he would rather go and do business with somebody that is not black. In fact, if any other person is trying to do business with a black man, he will tell them to be careful that they can lose their money. He will look for stories to corroborate and begin to tear down his fellow black person. We have to stop it. Like I said, business, they risk. This month we make money, this month we don't make money. So if you invest in a company and they say to you, we're sorry, give us 6 months extra. We need to review things. Things haven't been easy. You need to face that reality. Or you can tell them, okay, give me land. I could get my, your policy says you can give me land. Give me land. And I do whatever with my land. That's a better way. But to really go about soiling people's name, lying about even what didn't happen is not right. And I think we can do better than that. Now I've asked you guys some questions. Thank you for some replies. I want to read some reply. Sunday Ibrahim says rich people lose money to gain experience and know what will work and what won't. Good answer. Olabi says reason poor people don't lose money is fear and anxiety. Yeah, but that's not the issue. Why is it that they don't lose money and yet they are not rich? It's an irony, right? Rich people lose money and yet they are rich. Poor people don't lose money and they are never rich. Right? Okay. Dangote will tell you how much money he lost. Right? Even recently was he having those conversations. In fact, he was breaking down how he would have been richer if he had invested in the US. Okay. And how because he invests in Africa, he keeps affecting his wealth and all of that. But yet he's still a rich man. Other Africans will not even try take any risk. Right? They would even advise those who are trying to take risks, don't take it. Right? And yet they are not wealthy. Charles says rich people take high risk investment, unlike others. And so is their returns and losses. So their returns can be high, their losses can be high. Emmanuel says rich people, they reach more money because they understand calculated risk better and they make use of opportunities. Nice one. Sunday says rich people take calculated risk and courageous risk, while poor people just don't take any risk at all. Baba Femi says, as long as investment, you can only do due diligence, but don't control the forces, the market, international and local. You're very right. Poor people are scared of taking such risk, while rich people take calculated risk. But the money the poor held onto is systematically taken from them and given to the rich. Oh, God bless you, Baba Femi. And I don't think it's systematically taken from them and given to the rich. No, it's that when you just choose not to invest, okay, in assets, you invest in liability. And guess who owns that company that you are eventually investing liability into? It's still the rich. So, for example, you choose not to buy land, but you decide to reward yourself with a Louis Vuitton bag. Who is the owner of Louis Vuitton as a company? Is a rich man. Who else had decided to buy shares of Louis Vuitton? Right? Is another smart investor. Are we learning here? For learning type, I'm learning. Okay, so we must understand this, and each time, and I'm sharing this with us, not just because of Gvest or any other company. Anytime people tell you, be careful, don't invest, we tell them, okay, you that you have not, you have always been careful. Can you show me how wealthy you are? That's all. I just need you to ask them that question. That my brother or my sister, thank you for your advice, so and I'm grateful. But all these years, you have been careful. All these years, you have decided not to invest. How wealthy are you? Because again, if you're going to ask me to copy something, I need to be sure that that move had paid off. Because I look back now, when I started buying some properties in Nigeria, I will be doing webinars like this. Some people will be telling me, Nigeria is going to divide soon. But kind of my Igbo brothers, they will say, Nigeria is about to scatter. And I'm talking about this were 2019, no, so even as far back as 2017, ahead of 2019 election. You see, Nigeria is fat. Even US has predicted Nigeria is going to destabilize, all manner of story. And I remember saying to that, I said, I don't care. Even if Nigeria divide, and the portion of Nigeria that I invested in, I no longer live there, it will be the same as I invested in Ghana. How many of us, I mean, there are many Nigerians who invested in Ghana, and there are many Ghanaians who invested in Nigeria. The fact that the country I invested in, I no longer a citizen of it, does not change that my investment is my investment. The day I want to sell my land, I sell my land in Ghana and I make my money back. Now, I look back. Some of those properties I bought 2018 when those conversations were going on, right? Some I bought 2019 for as low as 500,000. Some of them are worth 30 million today. Everybody typed from 500,000 to 30 million. So if I listen to all these so-called smart people, so-called wise people, so-called people who care for me enough to be giving me advice, but they are not rich, they are not rich, but they are giving me advice. The advice they are trying to give me has not made them better than me. But they are giving me the advice. If I listen to them, where will I be today? So it's unfair that oftentimes we eventually hate rich people, but none of us say, but these people took risk. They took risk. They gambled, right? They did certain things that wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for them, but they did it. Okay? And so they deserve the reward that they are getting. Elon Musk decided to vote for Donald Trump and then put in about $175 million to get Trump elected. Is it? No, 75 million, not 175, 75 million to get Trump elected. Thereabout. After Trump won, the shares of the US stock market went up. And the first gain that Elon Musk got was, I think, over $300 million, right? Was the rise. So you can choose not to, but it was a risk because Donald Trump could have lost that election. Okay. And, he could have, whoever won will have come after Elon Musk, let's be honest. But it was a risk. But at the end of the day, when the risk is paying off, some people somewhere will be hating him. Don't mind them. All these, rich monopoly, all these rich people. And then, but you see, if you like a rich man, hate a rich man, it does not change his wealth. It does not remove his wealth. If you like, curse a rich man. God is the judge of all. And guess what? God loves you, whether you are rich or you're poor. If you like. But what you and I need to always ask ourselves are, what were the risks that these people who are richer took? And again, whenever you see me talk about rich people, I'm not talking about politicians or people who stole our collective money. You and I know I'm very straight on that. I'm saying people who took risks, they tried a business, they failed at it. People were mocking them, right? I've said to people, I beg you, take the risk and invest with me in what we are doing in the US, right? I'm currently trying to raise about $60 million for our US expansion. Take that risk with me. You did not take the risk with me when I started investing in Nigeria, right? But this one, you are alive. You are hearing about it. Let it not be 10 years from now, you will join the people who will be saying, we don't know how he got well. He's a young man. And we know when his mother died. How did he become so rich? Okay? You that your mother did not die, or you that you are claiming you are older than me, you take the risk I took. That is the question. Did you go and be buying bushland when everybody told you Nigeria was going to scatter? Did you risk your life with Omonile to negotiate land? We have had land that we bought, we're trying to fence it, they went and put charm. We had one naked woman started dancing in the community, right? Those were a risk that I took for myself and other investors who invested in those land to say, I don't want to disappoint these people. Even with the over $1 billion we've lost, I made sure I told our management, everybody who bought land must get another land, right? And they must not lose a dime. We, the company, I don't care if the company lose money, because I don't start an investment just because of what I want to make. What gives me joy is what I just heard from Mrs. Oluwabukola Rhodes, that people, and I've gotten so many of such testimony. I was in London, and you could see everybody just thanking me. These are investors saying, Dr. Stephen, you've changed my story, right? Whatever now, at least I know I bought a land from you and it's worth X today, right? That same money, I would have lost it just buying burger and French fries in London. Okay, if I didn't put it into investment with your company. That's what gives me joy, that we can have people who, and when you look at it, some people say, who is for rich people? I don't think so. Mrs. Oluwabukola is not a rich person. Many of those who God has helped us to help build wealth. One man sent me one day, said, Dr. Stephen, I just want to thank you. He sent me a list of land he bought from our company and how he spent less than 50 million. And the value of those lands are now over 200 million. And he was just praying for me. Okay, I no longer run day-to-day of GTEx today, but I have strong confidence in Mr. Rana, Mr. Farouq, and a lot of other people. You have no idea how hard these people work. The other day, we were launching a new estate next Saturday in Djibouti. The MD, Shola, was on site till 10 p.m. He had to go and look for one hotel in Djibouti to sleep because he needed to continue work in trying to clear that land the next morning. I mean, so unfortunately, people only see me that have since moved on. I am just an investor like Ms. Oluwabukola and GTEx now. We are hoping Farouq and Rana do their job well, and they give me my returns just like they will give Ms. Oluwabukola. That's what I am in GTEx. So when you carry fake news about the company GTEx, you are hurting Ms. Oluwabukola. You are hurting many other investors who put their money in this. You are not hurting Stephen Akintayo. People, yes, I mean, if the company doesn't make profit, I also won't make profit, but you're not really hurting me. I have over 40 books generating money for me every day. I get speaking engagement, people pay me. Even when people drag me over 18K, I made more money. Okay, because more people joined the 18K coaching program. It's just their dragging only made the coaching famous. Okay, so we must understand that when you are investing, you're investing with a company, with a structure, with good management. Okay, and don't let all this, because what I see here is when people know. I remember one of our investors sent me a message, said some people were sending me fake news about you because they knew I invested with you. Said, but I know the company I invested in, and I told them I'm okay, right? No, I'm okay. I have been there. There's no property I bought from them. I have been there. I went to Nigeria and I saw it, so I'm fine. And she was just sending prayer and said, Dr. Stevie, don't mind them, right? Don't mind them. Those of us who know the sacrifices you made, we value you, we appreciate what you do. But here's my advice as I conclude, that I'm human, right? And no matter how strong I am, I can also be discouraged because I'm human. When you put your life into something, when you do business with integrity, when you lose 1 billion, over $1 billion naira on a land, and you say none of your investors should be covered, you will cover that loss. And then somebody somewhere is imagining fake news about you. It is unfair. And we all have to fight things like this because these are monsters. These are new level of witchcraft. In those days when we were growing up, they used to tell us about village witches and how you need to be careful and how those people will put a mirror and they can see wherever you are. Witchcraft is no longer in the villages, it's on social media today. Somebody who has no business with a company can start a YouTube video over a business owner and say all manner of lies about the person. Unfortunately, such people also have people who love misery, who love to listen and believe such lies. In closing, one of the things I've seen is that Black people, people of color like me and you, we really have been programmed to hate wealth. We just don't know it. But we have been programmed to hate wealth. Okay? And that's why somehow, we derive joy in hearing that some successful person has come down, that one rich man has failed, that one person somewhere, there's a rumor that he went to jail, that the FBI is looking for him. Somehow, it just makes us feel good. And it's a subconscious programming that if you are serious about building wealth, you have to start deprogramming those things. I still share this story with our investors in London. I said, I'll never forget this story. I was about 18 years old of age. I had a mentor of mine. You know, I told him I want to learn about how to build wealth. So we're in front of a third road in Agowe, in Olabisi Abajo University. We're both in university. And then I saw this beautiful car, you know, all these escorts, you know, big cars. And then they were passing. And I whispered to him, I said, you see, these are thieves. And he looked at me with anger. I said, what do you mean by that? Do you know the person in the car? I said, no, sir, I don't know. That's why do you call the person thief? I said, you know, they are the ones now, they have these big cars, they have. He said, but you told me you wanted to learn how to be rich from me. I said, yeah. He said, so will you, if you really become rich, not be able to buy such a car that these people are driving? I said, yes, I guess. He said, will it be fair for somebody to be standing on the other side of the road and be calling you thief without understanding that you made the money to buy that car legitimately? You know, it was as if a veil was opened for my eye. And he said to me, he said, as long as you want to be my friend, you must never, okay, see a rich person and just jump into conclusion. He said, because that's exactly what you are supposed to become. You are working towards becoming as rich as the person, and you do not become what you resist. Hey, let me say that again. You do not become what you resist. So if you hate something, you can't become it. So many of us hate poverty, right? But we hate rich people unconsciously, right? We're not, it doesn't dawn on us, but it is there. Where is resentment? They're the ones why Nigeria is not working, right? They're the ones. But hey, did you at any time see the person? Because I wear agbada and I wear cap, I've seen people accuse me on social media and say, see them politicians. I have never done politics in my life. I've never even taken a government contract once in my life. But you see that instant judgment. You see them, right? I want you guys watching this clip today, and those of you watch later, I want you to unlearn the mindset that is there, subconscious, that just tells you something. Somebody must have played games. You know, somebody must have done something. I know many people, for example, who thought that we had made so much money in Nigeria and then we're carrying that money to US without knowing that we're raising funding for our US projects separately. Okay? In fact, Nigeria real estate right now is being attacked from left and right. Most of our clients who even bought property are defaulting. Many are not even able to pay their development levy. You know, are you aware we have months where our Dubai companies send salary to Nigerian companies? But somebody sits somewhere and has made up his mind and say, you know, this guy is one of them. Please, if you want to build wealth, right, and become wealthy one day, don't resist another rich person you see. Because you don't become what you resist. You only attract what you celebrate. Everybody type, you only attract what you celebrate. I want all of you to type it. You will only attract what you celebrate. You only become what you celebrate. So if we can come up with a mindset, and that's all I'm trying to, I hope this will, is my message for everybody today, that we just change our mindset and just say, going forward, I will not just label any rich person, right? And just label them, you know, without understanding who they are, without understanding their journey. I will celebrate successful people because I want to attract what they have. I will ask questions where I don't understand it, right? I will seek clarity, but I will not just make a blanket, comment. One of the reasons why GTS decided to expand internationally was because we foresaw that a time will come where the Nigerian economy will be going through the kind of challenges it is going through. And we didn't want a situation by the entire business collapse. That's why we diversified, right? That's why we expanded. Most people don't know that we didn't need to bring too much money from Nigeria to establish our Dubai business, because what we started was to become a broker. We partner with existing developers and we're selling for them. We didn't even collect a dime of investors' money in our personal account in Dubai. We link them directly with the developers, and it's the developer that then pay us commission after the transaction goes through, right? So please don't hate what you don't know. Don't join this new movement going on social media. Once it looks as if somebody is wealthy, we just attack them. You have no right to question how much I charge for coaching. It's my intellectual property. I have the right to say, oh, you want to learn how to grow your business globally the way I've done it? Well, I want to charge X amount, right? I don't owe you free training. We must support our people. Here in the US, Grant Cardone is richer than I do. The man is worth $8 billion. The last time I checked, I'm not worth that. But guess what? Grant Cardone still charged me $25,000 in March to attend his conference for 3 days. White man. No other white person complained. If Stephen Akintayo were to charge, okay, $20,000 for training, the whole Nigeria will scatter. I was shocked that it became a national conversation over how much I charge for people that didn't complain to you, right? And then the insult, the hatred. Come on, you do not become what you. Okay, I want to ask you guys a question. How many of you have seen our charity work? You've seen our feeding program where we feed widows and vulnerable people. If you've seen it, just say I've seen it. Okay? How many of you have seen where we give grants to small businesses? Some businesses we give them up to $5,000 grants, some $2,000 grants. If you've seen it, say I've seen it. How many of you have seen any other charity project we've done where we're just helping people? Okay, come on. I want you to comment. If you have ever seen any of our charity projects, just type. By the way, if you have not seen, please go to Steve Akintayo Foundation, right? Or Google Infinity Foundation or Steve Akintayo Foundation. You will see a lot of projects like that. And even now, this week, we're trying to go to Benue, to the victim of. We don't always advertise it because we also don't want to look as if we want to help people, but we're, we don't always want to look as if we're just trying to market people's misery. So we don't always push it out there. But once in a while, you will have seen a thing or two. In fact, we've paid tuition fee of more than 10,000 children in Nigeria. 10,000, everybody type 10,000 children. 10,000 vulnerable children that we've paid their tuition fee. We have some of them that we have vowed to pay their bill to the highest level of education. Highest level of education. Right? So the question now is, where will I get such money to be doing those things? I'm not a politician. I don't take government contract. where do you want the money to come from? Mr. Rana, you want to answer?
So just I want to make a comment before I forget. You mentioned I have observed something particular in African culture. We love to celebrate foreigners, and for some reason, we don't love to celebrate our own heroes. What I have seen, if a white person says something even nonsense, we tend to believe that. Rather, a person who's organically who's from African descent, we tend less degree of belief on that person. And I think your story personally, this is one of the reasons I joined you. I'm running the business, and that was a story from a humble background. You made yourself, and you inspired generation. So even the work you are doing, the mentorship, it's not about money. It's much more than bigger impact than money. So I think
Exactly.
we need to learn that as Africans in general. Why do we have this hatred for our own heroes? I see you a Grand Cardin version of Africa. Grand Cardin is something I met him personally in Dubai. I have seen him. We love the guy. He's a great guy. But I work with you. So you in no way you are less than in any caliber, having this wealth of knowledge and particularly inspiring and doing this much philanthropic work. So I think, come on, guys, we need to celebrate our own heroes.
I agree with you. If I remember somebody in Dallas was telling me he had to fight with one of his friends because the lady, incidentally, had also gone to Grant Cardon's event and paid $25,000. And then she was also telling him that why would Steve Akintayo be charging people $18,000? She said, oh, you just paid a white man $25,000 for 3 days. This guy is charging 18,000 for a whole year to mentor business owners. And then you want to crucify him,
In
right?
reality, in reality, Grant Cardone, he has a whole set of team. His personal time allocated to those trainings is much lesser than what you spend personally. I've seen that.
So I'm saying this because it's a long-term journey we're in for, and we all need to speak up to when we see people just do nonsense because evil continues because good people don't speak up, right? Like some of you are just looking, you are not even commenting, right? That is what makes evil to continue. When you can't say whether you love something or you hate something, speak up, right? Because the majority are not always the ones who speak up. No, the problem is that majority have decided to keep quiet. And like Mr. Rana said, Africa lack hero because we don't celebrate them while they're alive. Somebody could have done 99 good things. The one thing you have reservation about, then you kill the person because of that one thing. Let's stop it. Let's just stop it. One of the reasons why I started coaching business owners is because of this same thing. I've seen them go through a lot, right? And for your information, many of even those I coach in business, I don't even charge them, right? But I've seen business owners go through a lot, ridicule. And then when they finally now made it, what do we all now start saying? Oh, they made it because government gave them contract. Oh, is it not Dangote? It's government that is helping him. Oh, and most people don't know that he paid the highest number of tax. Let's even say government is helping him. The guy paid the highest number of tax. Okay? So we must change our mindset about entrepreneurship, about how we see wealthy people, and we must stop the hatred for people just because we think they're successful. Last but not the least, whether you like a rich man or you hate a rich man, if you don't become one, even poor people, you cannot help them. You will just talk, and talk does not do anything. Two poor people cannot help themselves. If you really care about poor people, become rich so you can go back and give back to poor people. That's how it works. But you have to make the money first. That's what I did. And that's why even today, most of my charity is funded by those who join my one-on-one coaching, those who buy my books. I make money there. right? And I'm able to then use some of those money to now still help some other people who are vulnerable. That's how you do it. You have to sell something. You have to make money elsewhere to then channel that money to then help the poor that you like. Because ultimately, money is not mythical. Money is a reward for value, right? You offer something and they pay you for that thing. That's how you make money. It's not abracadabra. But unfortunately, many of us have that mindset that money is mythical. There's something, but there's nothing mythical about it. And that's why when people then charge for their value, respect it. If you can't afford it, hope one day you can. Lastly, I have a lot of videos on YouTube. My YouTube handle is Dr. S. Akintayo. So if you can't afford my coaching, you can't afford my mentorship, just go to Dr. DRS Akintayo. Subscribe to that channel, and you see so many beautiful content that can teach you on wealth, that can teach you for free. Okay. And then the day you can then afford to have me as your coach one-on-one, I look forward to meeting you and sharing more with you. But start from the free programs I have. You go to Amazon, you see over 40 books I've written. Buy the books. Start somewhere. You don't need to start as one-on-one with me. Start somewhere. I love you all and thank you all. For those of you who are our customers, I really want to thank you. You are our hero. For those of you who want to become our customer, Mr. Farouq has dropped his detail. Talk to him, right? If you want my information, you can ask for it, you'll get it. But I am not in charge of sales. I will still have to send you back if it's because of business, if it's because you want to do business with us, you still have to talk to our team. Okay. But if is that you just want to find out one or two things, you are free to reach out to me. Mr. Farouq will give you my number. Okay, I love you all. Thank you for having me. Good job, Mr. Rana. Good job, Farouq. Well done. Thank you.
Pleasure to have, sir. Thank you so much for making yourself available.
Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. I'm always honored to have you on my webinar. You are our chief guest for today, chief investor. And thank you so much for sharing with us. For everyone joining us, just to recap, we spoke a lot about how you can build wealth passively using OPT, OPM, and why it's important for you to join the cooperative. What makes us so unique, how you can have access to great investment opportunities and ensure that you have a safe and a guided investment. And for those of you that joined us late, a recording will be sent to you. So I gave some offers earlier today. For those of you that are interested in that offer, you want to reach out to me personally. And for you to secure Dr. Steven number, you have to be an existing investor with me. So to reach out to me, you can reach out to +234-701-408-7669. I'll drop my phone number on the chat box. I hope you all can see it. So to reach out to me, +234-0701-408-7669. You can text me on WhatsApp, you can call me, and I'll be available to attend to all your inquiries. If you have any other question, please type for a wrap up. I'll just be going through the questions again. Okay, I think that is all. Okay, so the offer today is a minimum of 2 million investments. We are doing Naira, and that expires 12 midnight today. And if you are doing for dollar investments, it's a minimum of $10,000. And if you need to have more breakdown on how your investments will be paid, you can reach out to the phone number 0701-408-7669, and I'll be happy to and obliged to guide you on your investments. From the Desk of Gvest, thank you so much for joining us on this meeting. Technical, are you there? Please play a video as we wrap up. Mr. Greatness, thank you so much for joining us as well. Technical? Okay, we've come to the end of this meeting. Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Fumi.
I'm here at the Investors Hangouts with Pastor Stephen Akintayo, and it's been an amazing time with him. And we were able to ask a number of questions, and seeing him one-to-one with every one of us is really amazing. That shows his humility. That shows that he cares about how we do our investment. So it was an amazing time with him. A lot of advice as to how our businesses can grow and all that. And then just to encourage us to get his books as well, we have the Billionaire's Habit for Entrepreneurs. We have the Maximizing for Your Real Estate Investment, and Billionaires Codes. I mean, this is just a few of the ones I've bought quite a number of them, and it's really very helpful. And yes, and in terms of investment, it's been an amazing journey, very trustworthy, and in terms of customer service, next to none. I mean, I've spoken with a number of the customer service people. They get back to you in real time, and they're quite very polite, and just get the job done. So thank you very much, Dr. Akintayo, for this opportunity. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next month. And please, if you're available for our Gvest physical investment dinner, we're having in Lagos and VI July 18th. You can reach out to me. And we're having in Abuja as well, July 20th. And if you're in the US as well, you can reach out to us. We're having a tour and a dinner. It's going to start from our office in Katy, Texas. You're going to tour some of our properties and also have a dinner. And I have the privilege of also having a conversation with Dr. Stephen Akintayo. From Gvest team and everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Have a lovely and great week ahead. Bye.
My name is Sylvia. For this investment hangout we have with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, one of my take home is advice on opportunities and place when and how to invest. I learned that it's very important to diversify your investments and the reason for that. And also for the investments I've also already done back in Africa, it was very smooth. I didn't have to visit Nigeria and everything was smooth. And the customer service was superb, and yeah, he seems very trustworthy.
Hello, just want to say that today we had an amazing time at our investors dinner with Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Most of you know him. I know him very well. I know him personally. I've been his student for many years, so I can vouch for his integrity. And the knowledge that he gives out for free is just, what can I say? You can't even put a price on it. Today we had such a great time. We learned lots of things, and I think he took away the fear of investing in Nigeria. So at the end of the day, for years to come or in the future, Nigeria is going to be a gold mine. So I think it's a great opportunity to invest now, so that by the time years have rolled by, your investment would have grown. So today was amazing. We're having a great event on the 26th and the 27th of July. So watch this space and get more information.
A great day with Dr. Stephen Akintayo giving us a great mastermind on real estate, not just in Africa, but in the US and Dubai. but most importantly, he addressed a lot of issues, the challenges with the new road in Lagos, where investors, that people that had invested in land thought no, that the government was actually taking the land away from them to do roads. So all those challenges and issues with people that are losing land to the new expressway. So he addressed it quite well, getting everyone to have a more positive outlook to the whole idea that the new road has come, as opposed to being negative that they've lost a bit of land. So which I thought was quite an important takeaway for me today. So we look forward to the next event in July.
Investment for African people and Black people is very important. I learned that it's also important for us to learn that the risk of investments as well, and the importance of diversifying our investments as well. So yeah, those are some of the key things that I took here.
Perfect. Thank you. And what would your advice be for any, let's say, African or Black African in the diaspora looking to invest in Africa? What would you advise them?
I would advise them to educate themselves on the importance of investments and investments in opportunities as well. Yeah.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, this is Bukola Adigbola and I am making this short testimony about Gvest. I have invested with them for the past 3 years and it's been a good time with them. They are very reliable, they are dependable, I have peace of mind and I have my return for my investment every year. And as they have said, they are very dependable, they have professionals, their staff are respectable, they are very professional, they are very loyal, they have integrity, and I have peace of mind. I am not sleeping and I'm like, hey, where is my money? What has gone on with my investment? This is just a short testimony. They are very reliable. I will forever do business with them. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello, everybody. This is Bukola Adigbo.
Welcome to Gvest, the investment arm of Gtext Holdings, dedicated to helping individuals and businesses grow wealth through secure real estate investment opportunities. With Gvest, you can co-own premium properties through fractional ownership, earning steady returns without the need for full ownership. Gvest offers flexible and diverse real estate investment opportunities tailored to meet various capital levels and financial goals. When you invest with Gvest, you benefit from fractional ownership. Invest in real estate without the full burden of ownership, sharing in the profits without the hassles. Attractive ROI. Enjoy competitive returns, up to 120% on Naira investments and up to 25% annually on USA real estate investments. Flexible tenure. Choose investment plans ranging from 18 months to 6 years, allowing you to align with both short-term and long-term financial objectives. Choose from flexible 1-year, 3-year, or 5-year plans that align with your investment goals. Gvest USA Investment. Start with $10,000 and earn up to 25% annual ROI. Choose from flexible investment tenures ranging from 18 months to 6 years, with multiple payout options. Why Gvest is your reliable investment partner. Trusted expertise, backed by Gtext Holdings, a leader in real estate with a solid track record of success. Regulated and transparent. Our investment options are governed by clear terms and conditions, ensuring that you can invest with confidence and peace of mind. Download our app on iOS and Android or visit our website. You can also reach out to us via email. For more information, contact us at Gvest Global +2 3480999908864 or +2 3480922555133.
Meet the new Gvest app, your gateway to smart investing. We will walk you through the simple steps to make the most of the Gvest app. First, download the Gvest app from your app store. Available for both Android and iOS install, and open the Gvest app to get started. Tap on Register to set up your account by filling in your personal information. Congratulations. You're ready to explore the Gvest app and begin your investment journey. Now let's make your first investment. Fund your wallet. Once your wallet is funded, explore our range of investment plans. Each plan offers different durations and rates of returns. Tap on your chosen investment option. Track your progress on the app with real-time updates on performance, earnings, and projected returns. When it's time to withdraw your funds, go to the withdraw option on the app. It is an easygoing process. No stress. Congratulations! You're on your way to financial success with Gvest. Contact our support team if you have questions or need assistance. Happy investing.